Now, when we get our land back, then we are hearing the people say that, oh my gosh, productivity is down, oh my gosh, X, Y, and Z. Then you hear the expelled white farmers, should I say, start throwing insults like, look at what blacks are doing, they're messing up the country, X, Y, and Z. No, we're not. We are learning. That's what we're doing. Yes, I know, you know, it's kind of hurtful, but nothing in this world really runs fairly. And when you look at different systems, maybe the land distribution wasn't equally as fair. You know, yes, it was distributed amongst the rich or the wealthy, or should I say the politically powerful. But we are learning, and we're taking gradual steps on learning. And I think if it took you guys 100 years to learn what you had to learn, we have got I would say maybe about 93 years to learn. So if we're going to get back on point, it's going to take us about 93 years. Fair and fine. Now let's move on to the next thing. Don't forget, you also had cheap labor, right? Come on, let's be honest now. That was next to slave labor. You know, lots of white farmers, they don't understand what it meant by kugaram gombo in the compound. If you're black and you understand what I'm talking about, you know, it's the little place where they had all the workers in a little, where there were little huts and little kids, and you know, they kind of like say, yeah, the black people, we treat them, we keep them really well in that little place. Well, guess what? Our minds are bigger, they're greater, and they want more. In fact, you know what the funniest thing is? We want what you want. Right. Now, let's look at this. We achieved independence. We quote, not independence. We achieved political independence in 1980. Right? The 18th of April. I still remember that after so many years. Right? Now, we achieved that, but did we really achieve independence? Let's look at the situation now. Let's look at it. I'll say between the 80s and the early 90s, Mugabe was doing the best he could for someone, let's look at it this way, a president who had no experience. And we're talking experience meaning economic experience, etc, XYZ. But one thing he did guarantee was building schools, building hospitals and XY facilities. Now I want to ask everyone out there, where do you think that money came from? It didn't come that easily. It came through loans, maybe debentures and whatever. But anyway, that money came from external financing. Now, all these external financing people, they come and they put a hold on things, and they kind of like trap the country and put it in such a situation that the workers have to keep on pumping out, pumping and pumping and pumping. Right? But guess what? If you look at the ratio, now I wouldn't say it's there at the moment. I'm not in Zimbabwe, so I wouldn't really understand. But if you look at, as far as I remember when I was back in Zimbabwe, the number of people that were white and rich, and the number of people that were black and rich, the ratio didn't balance out. There were a whole lot of white rich people compared to the number of black rich people. Number two, the number of black people who used to be poor, maybe let's say middle class, which is normal there, that was like the whole nation. Let's say at that time the population was about 7 million, so let's say about 6 million was the workforce, working for maybe a minute 10,000 white people. Come on, let's look at it. That's cheap labor. That's right. Now, the things that people don't understand and lots of people fail to recognize, and that is, what is wealth?